It's Sophia and Ava from Logline, and we're here interviewing Jo Koy about his new special, In His Elements. Hi, Jo Koy.
Hi, how are you?
We're good, thank you. We're going to ask
Good.
him a few questions about his new special, as well as some about Filipino culture and traditions. And we wanted to thank you for taking the time out of your day and sitting down with us and having a conversation.
Oh, of course. This is fun.
So, what was the genesis of this special? What made you want to do it in the Philippines?
Well, I mean, when you have a dream, right? When you dream when you're a kid, you always imagine like the biggest things, right? You don't just think of the smallest ones. You think of the biggest thing that you could possibly do when you dream, right? So when I was a kid, I used to always think that I would go back to the Philippines and do a show and everyone know who I was. Oh, that's Jo Koy. Oh my God, Jo Koy. So that was always my dream, doing stand up. So when it came to finally getting in the door at Netflix, and they were asking what I wanted to do next, it was like it just came out of me where I was like, I need to go to the Philippines. Like, I don't want to shoot. I had a choice. I could have shot a third special. I could have done another hour. That's what they really wanted.
Yeah.
And then I gave them the idea of going back to the Philippines and showing the country and talking about my culture, and then also bringing other up and coming Filipino acts,
Right.
to give them a chance to shine on stage as well. So that was the whole concept, bringing people that were Filipino-Americans back to the Philippines and seeing their culture and talking about their culture and just sharing the stage with me. That's what it was all about. So that was the whole dream. It was just a dream when I was a kid, and it came to reality when I had when I had a choice.
So, for second generation Asian Americans who may not strongly identify with their culture, how can your special inspire them to connect with their heritage more?
My whole thing is I just want to indirectly inspire. Like, in no way was I trying to this is what Filipinos do and this is our country and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to do that at all. Like, it was literally for me and for Ilmine and Ronnie and Andrew. And that was literally just us as American Filipino-Americans going back to the motherland and just enjoying it, and then indirectly inspiring. You know what I mean? We don't, in no way was I trying to force this down anyone's throat. This is just something that a passion project for me, and it lives on Netflix forever. And if that can indirectly inspire young kids, then I won. You know what I mean? If there's someone that's not Filipino and hears what Tagalog sounds like for the first time when that little kid starts rapping in Tagalog, then I won, because now everyone knows what our national language sounds like.
Yeah.
Now when I say adobo, chicken adobo, now people are gonna be like, oh, I want to try that. Those are those little I guess Easter eggs, those are just little Easter eggs that I'm giving. And if that inspires the youth, or if that inspires someone that isn't Filipino, to look into our culture, or want a vacation there, that's what that was all about. In no way was I trying to start something. I just wanted people to be aware of our culture, and appreciate how beautiful our country is, how beautiful our people are. Just the fact that I'm telling my jokes in English, that's a win.
So, for Gen Zs who haven't seen His Elements, what can they expect from the special? I know that there was the singer, Inigo Pascal.
Yeah, well, Gen Z is also Andrew Lopez. The kid's only 20, he's 25, I think. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah.
He's a young, and he's from Iowa. You know what I mean? His parents moved from the Philippines to Iowa to start their family. So he's never even been there. He didn't even know what it was about. So it woke him up. It really made him see the struggle that his parents had to deal with before they moved to Iowa. When I was a kid, okay, when I was your age, right? When I was young, I didn't have anyone to look up to that would inspire me indirectly, right? There were no Filipinos on the big screen. There was no Manny Pacquiao. You had to research it yourself. There was no Google. There was no Facebook. There was none of that. All I had was my mom, and I had Tito, Vic, and Joey. You know what I mean? I had all these, but I didn't have anyone on the big screen. There was no way of finding out. So that's what I want this to be for, the Gen Zs. I want them to see this on Netflix and get inspired. Anything's possible. You
Yeah.
can do a stand-up special on Netflix and shoot it in the Philippines. It's possible. I'd love to see what they do after this. You know, the door's open now.
Yeah. Okay. So as you were just talking about, and we know you mentioned it a few times in the special, that you struggled when you were younger to find other Filipinos in your community, and
Yeah.
whether that was in comedy or even just when you were growing up.
Yeah.
So we've experienced a lot of those issues too in Los Angeles, where like everyone's super diverse and like. So what was your process for choosing the acts in your show? Did you consider like where in the US they were from and their age and their gender, anything like that?
Nope. It was just literally when I gave them the idea, those were all my friends. So Ronnie, and that's the cool thing about Netflix. Netflix just gave me whatever. They were like, whatever you want to do, we'll support it financially. So,
Awesome.
uh, and I was like, I want to bring my friends. Like these are guys that have been in the game for so long, and they deserved a shot. You know, Andrew Lopez was on the road with me for about almost 2 years. Joey Gia has been doing stand up for almost 30 years. You know what I mean? Like he was one of the first Filipino comics I ever met when I came to LA. So it's like, yeah, like immediately when they said, Joe, you get to do this in the Philippines, I called Joey Gia. I'm like, you're about to do a set for Netflix. Let's go. I
Yeah.
called Andrew Lopez. Let's go. Netflix. Let's go. Ronnie. I knew Ronnie when Ronnie was 17. We opened for Snoop Dogg together at the Blaisdell Arena 22 years ago.
Wow.
So it's like when you see these dancers, you're like, oh, he just put dancers on there because that's what they're doing now. They're throwing dancers on. No, me and Ronnie go all the way back. He danced and I opened for Snoop. And we've been friends ever since. I've done a bunch of shows in Vegas where I had, B-boys open my shows in Vegas when I was starting. So immediately I called Ronnie. I called Ronnie right when I left Netflix. I picked up the phone. I was like, hey, man, you're not going to believe it, but that idea about going to the Philippines just got greenlit. So you're coming with me. So I brought him. Illmind, I met him through stand-up. He was always he shouted me out one time, and then I didn't realize that he was the producer for Drake and Beyonce and Jay-Z, and like that's such an amazing story to know that there's a Filipino producer that's getting a Grammy, producing for Jay-Z and Beyonce and writing for Kendrick Lamar and writing for Drake. It's like we need that to be showcased and highlight to inspire us, because if you're a Filipino producer in America and you're just like, or even a Filipino in general, anywhere, and you're writing music and you just think to yourself, oh, it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Because you just assume by what you see, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And that's what that was. That's why I wanted Illmind there. I wanted him to produce that song and that the theme song. Like I wanted people to see, oh, damn, this is all Filipino right here.
I thought it was so cool when it was like the just young Filipino kids. Like I wasn't expecting them to be in the studio and they were just like rapping.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I thought it was so awesome.
And they were rapping in Tagalog. The kid was in Tagalog, and he was spitting. He was good. Like there's people that aren't even Filipino that are like, who is that kid? How do I get that song? And that's what that was all about. Like I know I keep ranting because I always feel like I have to like explain what the show is about, but that kid lives in the Philippines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be a rapper in the Philippines is like, you know what I mean? Thank God for the internet and social media because now you can get your work out there. But if you would have thought to do this 20 years ago, like the chances of this ever happening is like, it would have never happened. You know what I mean? And the fact that Illmind is writing and producing that beat for that kid to rap on, like that's a dream come true for this kid. And now look, through streaming and Netflix, the world got to see it, and it's opened up a door. Like it's a small door, but it's open. And I hope to God there's like millions of young Filipino rappers that are going to get out there now and be inspired by that and just put it out there. Oh, that kid can spit. I can spit too, huh?
Okay. So we enjoyed how you had multiple clips of you in different parts of Filipino society, like the tenement and the marketplace. That was my favorite scene.
Aww.
As well as aspects of Filipino culture like b-boying, music, and food. So
Yeah.
how has your experience of performing in the Philippines been different from your more touristy travels in the past?
Well, okay. Well, like we had 4 days to shoot, right? So we had to do the live performance, which takes 2 days, and then we had to go our field, which was 2 days. And so if you could imagine the time that we had to deal with, we didn't have that much because I wanted to show everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to show all of it, but I also still have to remember, it's still a comedy show. Like I still have to show me doing stand up. Like if I, you know what I mean? So I still had to get that element in there. You know what I mean? So it cut the, I didn't have, what I'm trying to say is I didn't have that much time to show as much as I wanted to, even though I wanted to show everything. So we picked the tenement because I still wanted to show that, hey man, even in the hardest of hardest times, these people are smiling and they're talented and they're willing to do anything to get out. You know what I mean? And seeing those kids on stage and performing, dude, that was such a joy to see the situation that they're from, and the talent that they had, and to be able to, I mean, they were keeping up with Ronnie. You saw it. You know what I mean? It went from them not knowing the routine to killing it live. So, we picked those certain things because I still wanted to show that there's a struggle, but I also wanted to show like how beautiful our people are and how beautiful the country is. So, yeah, the tenement, and of course, the farmer's market, and then my aunt, that was my aunt cooking. That was my ate Opie. She was cooking adobo for me. My sister was in it. I mean, it was just, those were things I'll always treasure, and I'm glad I got to show it. Even when I drove by the church, just to show a little bit of history, just so that people can see just how pretty it is. I wanted it to be a travel log, but I also wanted it to be an entertaining variety show.
Okay, so lastly, we know from experience that it must have been some sort of miracle or magic or something that caused those Manila streets to be empty. So empty. Especially near the airport. So
yeah.
How did you pull that off?
What?
When we were there, it literally took us 5 hours to get out of the airport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't talk about that. It was perfect timing.
Oh, okay. That's like magic. Okay, well, that was all the questions that we had for you.
Awesome. It was nice meeting you guys.
You too.